Welcome to Movie Speeching. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take good care. The Warlords is the name of the movie. Please like and subscribe to get every update. With both sides within the war starving to passing, Commander Dason chastises Chin-gun for betting on the remaining officers in their progressing attack. One of the youthful officers, incapable to move due to damage, cries out for offer assistance but is denied aid. The motion picture starts within the 19th century amid the Qing tradition. China was beneath a degenerate run, the show that driven to an rebellion known as the Taiping Disobedience that endured 14 a long time. The recorded passings were 70 million, altogether comparable to World War II casualties. After a furious fight between followers and rebels, one bleak evening happens. Numerous officers from the supporter camp are butchered, but common throb Ching Yun, who develops from a heap of dead bodies. Picking himself up from the demolition, he meanders within the inverse heading of the departure line. Seeing a lady going the same way, he takes after her to an adjacent town, but swoons midway. The lady appears sympathy and brings him to a left house to mend him. Common Chino stirs from a bed, troubled and blameworthy over the passings of all his men. At the same time, the equal K armed force observe the brutality on the sidelines. They rest close to each other at night, but the common finds are gone. The taking after day proceeding on foot within the war-torn town. He sits among displaced people, holding up for the everyday apportions to be conveyed. A warlord, Jiang Wang, takes note his military attire and tests his mettle. After demonstrating he is nice in fight, the common is taken to see his brother Jiao Yu, who is executing a strike against a revolt. Condominium boy Common Ching Yun observes from over as the two brothers and their armed forces butcher their way through the attack, indeed going so far as making a difference. Wang, who nearly get cut within the confront with a speedy sprint, he employments a revolt officer as a shield to maintain a strategic distance from the bullets of the foe commander, long sufficient to cut him with a stick. The outlaws cheer seeing his gutsy act and offer him to connect their campaign as they head domestic. Upon arriving in town, the desperados are welcomed with blissful commend from the villagers, counting the lady who spared Common Ching Yun Lion Shang. Be that as it may, much to his shock, he finds he is the spouse of Yu. After making a door to her spouse, she busies herself with nourishment planning, whereas thinking back approximately her brief experience with Common Ching Yun telling him a story, approximately being saved by Yu from getting to be a youthful Joe horse, a courtesan sold to well-off men. Afterward, amid supper, Ching Yun tells Yu around the disloyalty of the Chu troops that led to his men passing on in fight. He supports him, accepting brotherly cherish is basic to winning a war. Afterward, after Lian Chang brings Wang a few nourishment, she attempted to stow away from Qin Yun to maintain a strategic distance from him. Still, the tireless common finds her, inquiring why she did not run absent from Yu when she had the chance. Suddenly, the K armed force assaults the town and the troopers strike the town for stolen supplies. The villagers' rebellion is met with abuse, driving to a tense standoff with Yu, who eventually surrenders to the commander. He gives him a lashing, taken after by a caution not to rehash the same botch. The taking after morning as the town battles to revamp what was misplaced. Common Ching Yun proposes that Yu and his men enroll for ruler Chen's armed force to equal the K armed force. He acknowledges the proposition given. The common will take a blood pledge to demonstrate his dependability to their brotherhood. After cruelly slaughtering 3 untouchables, Yu and Wang connect their blooded edges within the fire and swear devotion to one another. The following day, their troops head out of the town to begin their travel to the Qing domain. Not long after, the 3 men are summoned to the tall court where Ching Yun protects their activities to ruler Chen and demands to attempt a mission to capture Shu City inside 10 days, in spite of the fact that at first pretentious of the thought due to selecting as it were 800 men. The masters concur to supply an extra 1,500 men within the unused Shan armed force as long as they don't get compensation. Ching Yun acknowledges this, accepting they will strip the city's ruins for benefit at some point. Afterward, the Sha armed force plans for the up and coming struggle at their base. Yu is stressed almost their victory, but Qin Gun accepts they can win in case they break through the foe line and lock in their warriors in hand-to-hand combat. This arrange will require 200 men willing to utilize their bodies as shields for the bowmen behind them to urge inside run of the foes. In spite of the fact that numerous will be yielded, Wan energizes for the bolster of the arrange as Yu guarantees the men's compensation will be multiplied in the event that they kick the bucket and tripled ought to they survive the attack. The another day, the Sha armed force holds its position over the war zone. The Shu armed force, driven by Commander Hang Wenin, is holding up within the remove a match. Delivery person arrives to order their yield, as it were to urge decapitated by Hu, starting the primary assault wave led by Wang. As anticipated, the foe front line opens fire, shooting some soldiers with numerous still hurrying forward. Prepared with metal shields, though Yu is enthusiastic to spare the men, Qingyun expels him and lets the arrange play out appropriately. The bowmen shoot the arrows from behind the human shields, catching the Shu armed force off watch due to the overwhelming misfortunes. Wen orders the complete back line to thrust forward and clash with the horsemen driven by who have intentioned blinded their steeds for them to charge in a straight line. Common Qingyun takes after with his horsemen as the Shu armed force besieges the region with cannon fire. He rapidly jumps from his horse and charges the foe bombardiers, with his skewer taken after by a hack and sliced toward the foe foot troopers, in spite of the fact that one of the troopers endeavors to light the cannon. The speedy considering Common moves it away to devastate the whole blockade. He develops fatigued as another cannon targets him as it were to be diverted by a gallant soldier of the Sha armed force. His give up motivates him and Yu to continue the battle as they butcher their way through the battle. Yun is cut within the bear, though he is spared by Wang and Yu, whereas the men watch them in a circle, the men but their destiny, and declare they will battle and kick the bucket as brothers. As they continue the assault distant over the removed commander, El Dason gets to be dumbfounded by the exertion of the Sha armed force, requesting the rest of the 1,500 to assault and come to their help. Eventually they overwhelm the Shu armed force, with Wang decapitating the foe commander. Returning to the court to share the news of the triumph, the rulers gotten to be excited, concurring to supply 5 more brigades and reuniting Qingyun with an old partner, Hai, the pioneer of the Shu armed force. Besides Suzhou, the Sha armed force is challenged to topple the enemy's capital, Nanlord. They return to the town, getting a warm welcome. Be that as it may, one of the troopers, 11 Jin Ba, tragically returns the insignias of his fallen comrades to their family afterward. After tending to Yu, Lianshan surges to the surrendered house where Qingyun is taking shield. In any case, she wavers to go interior, holding back sentiments for him. Over the following few weeks, the Shan armed force wins a arrangement of triumphs over the area, permitting the K army's men to plunder the ruins. One day, amid a strike, 2 youthful warriors sexually attacked scared youthful ladies within the city. In spite of being free to do as they, it would be ideal if they are captured by Qingyun, who guarantees not to endure their illegal conduct. Yu argues for benevolence to save them, but the strict Common allows their open execution to require putas in case, burying them without further ado after somewhere else. Whereas playing aboard amusement, the Qing rulers take in note Qingyun's desire develops and fears his impact will overextend their possessed, choosing to deny offer assistance and supplies. Moving forward, this causes their mission to free Suzhou to final for entirety year, leading to numerous casualties, with both sides within the war starving to passing. Commander Dason chastises Qingyun for betting on the remaining troopers in their continuous attack. One of the youthful troopers, incapable to move due to damage, cries out for offer assistance but is denied help. Feeling deserted, Qingyun and Wang return to the Qing domain, arguing with the masters for help in Suzhou as it were to be overlooked. With no other plan of action, the Common chooses to go specifically to the K armed force and ask for their offer assistance. He proposes petitioning Nanlord with these powers. After a fruitful takeover arranged, the commander acknowledges. In the interim, Yu, left to lead the weak troopers exterior, Suzhou chooses to sneak into the city at night, taking off Lianshan to tell his brothers he will pass on a legend, disquieting Qingyun. As he arrives with the arrangements for the men, he tells Wang they have held up long sufficient and must assault at daybreak. In the blink of an eye, after he sees Lianshan and chases her through the underground trenches, prepared to confess his sentiments for her have developed. She at first denies him, but gives in to create a door beneath the moonlight, absent from everybody. A day afterward, after rummaging through Suzhou boulevards for asylum, amassed Yu offers opium to Commander Wenin, who recognizes him immediately and uncovers one of his previous troopers. She has surrendered and joined his group. Afterward, at daybreak, Qingyun orders the men to get ready for fight as he instrument Lianshan to take off and return domestic. He guarantees to wed her on the off chance that he survives somewhere else. Wenin acknowledges to yield and permits Yu to slaughter him in a duel to the passing. As he cuts the edge in his chest, the commander inquires him to guarantee to save the lives of his 4,000 men, counting the civilians in Suzhou. Afterward, the Shan armed force is astounded to see the town's society take off the city and droves and acclaims Yu for his bravery. In spite of the fact that Wang and Qingyun are excited almost his return, Yu looks obviously stressed, almost a bargain. He is fair made presently that the individuals within the city will be their obligation, as she and the Townspeople request bread. Yu clarifies the circumstance to Qingyun, who immediately denies offer assistance, having as it were accumulated nourishment for 10 days through their travel to non-ruler. He gets to be irritated knowing that the common made a bargain with Iki. In spite of the esteem of the Chu armed force toward the attack, differences emerge with the arrangement share, with Yu requesting the storage facility to open. Still, Qingyun cautions this will be the as it were share they will give. As he orders their execution, irritated, he tries to lash out, but Wang pieces his way, believing they are making the proper choice. Yu is at that point thumped out and taken absent by the officers for his inadequate. Realizing their confidence, she and his individuals bolt arms as the toxophilites prepared their bows and to chain her, whose boisterous supplications are listened from a separate. The slaughter commences indeed, in spite of the fact that the Wang and the officers are unmistakably alarmed by what they are doing. By the conclusion of it, Hu is discharged and pledges never to conversation to Wang once more. Sense of his activities as the door opens, Yu gets to be frustrated, bowing next to Shi's body and caressing the youthful boys. Confront afterward, the bodies are dumped within the trenches and buried. Feeling encouraged up with the control battle, he announces he will go domestic and revives others to connect him and is his departure, much to Qingyun's objection, as they are however to require control of non-ruler. In a few days he reminds him of the words he once said, approximately everybody meriting to be free. Indeed, the devastated, he accepts he is presently a deceiver for the slaughter. Qingyun argues with him to be reasonable, clarifying it was an basic advantage to urge ahead of Hiku and freeing millions of civilians. In non-com, Wang too communicates concern, arguing for him to remain, for their vow not be broken, with the entire armed force bowing down and inquiring for pardoning. He reluctantly concurs to final as long as he can slaughter Qingyun in case he is off base. Approximately is arranged genuine to what was concurred upon. Non-King's takeover was fruitful and stories of the three brothers' brave endeavors were included. In an organized play, after a month passes, the city is modified and the brothers have embraced new positions within the Dower Empress's government. Yu on his portion fortifies the Shan regiment but hands out the troopers' rewards without consent, much to Chun's objection, who is however to be named in Lord Senator. Afterward, Chu offers a letter with Lord D. Approximately Chun's up and coming introduction, annoying them both. To guarantee his destruction, they will require you to back them somewhere else. Yu and Lian Shang witness the astonishing execution of the three brothers' musical drama and cries over the recollections of Wang and Qingyun amid the war. Afterward, at the tea house, Hiku endeavors to persuade him to connect forces to mortify Qingyun as they take non-lord for themselves. Shockingly, he discharges his confined up seed to the commander's help by beating him up, demonstrating that he is still angry of Qingyun. Without further ado, after Lian Shan clears out and rides a watercraft, not knowing she is watched closely behind by Wang. To his shock, he sees Qingyun with her, fueling his doubt that they are having an issue. At some point afterward, at a majestic summoning, the dour ruler presents him with brilliant robes, cementing his arrangement as senator of non-ruler and fulfilling the individuals with a 3-year-long assess relief shortly after the royal lord Kunil Qingyun to separate ancient ties with you, recommending he must be disposed of. Sense of his negative impact, he considers it over as he clears out and looks over the frigid skyline. In the meantime, Yu tells and stirred Lian Shang he is prepared to return home, feeling undesirable and non-ruler, and inquires her to come. Abruptly, he gets alarmed to Qingyun's secretive vanishing. In any case, he as it were stows away in mystery to plot his death of Yu, which Wang has by one means or another derived. Afterward, Yu takes the trap to check on Qingyun, accepting he is the one to be killed. Wang cautions the common about his arrange, but since his intellect is made up, he employments the opportunity to spare Yu by going to Lian Shang and slaughtering to protect the vow. In the meantime, on a stormy night, Yu is lethally shot with bolts, reviling the title of his executioner and passing on without knowing it was his brother Qingyun. All along, the common cries as Wang quickly thump on the entryway, in spite of the fact that he is as well late to halt the death. The minute the introduction arrives on a stormy evening at 11:45 a.m., Qingyun steps out of the doors and strolls toward the court as it were to urge wounded by Wang constraining the two brothers to engagement. The seriously battle closes with Wang defeated, though the general isn't satisfied to defeat him. As he strolls absent, the harmed Wang gets up and wounds him, but to his astonish, a paid professional killer shoots Qingyun with bullets from over. He at that point pronounces himself his brother's executioner, not knowing the government had set up the general's death weeks sometime recently. The introduction he in this way surrounded Wang to stow away their mess. The motion picture closes with Senator Throp. Qingyun is said to have passed on July 26, 1970, taken after by Jiang Wang's execution in September of that same year. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.